the shining ones, skills on the platform. All right, this is going to be for our fire signs and fire signs of Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Okay, this is what came out for you guys today for your weekly oracle read. The crown chakra, the 7th chakra. All right, now fire signs, the crown chakra, and I know that this came out for a reason for our fire signs. All right. I'm just gonna say this at first because fire signs are the signs that, listen, just go for it, do it. You know, they tend to not really, think it out. They do, but they don't really fully think it out, right? And I would encourage fire signs to really think about what you do before you move forward, right? Because you could do something and say, you know what, I'm going to do this, right? And then, it could end up not fully working out for you. Especially if you noticed in your life where you have just jumped forward and just decided to say, okay, let me just do this. I'm going to get it done. And that's it. Like, I'm not thinking about it. I'm just going to do it, right? That's fine, right? There's situations where that has to be done. No questions about it. There's situations where you have to just go out there and just make the decision. And you got to be quick on your toes to make a decision, right? That's on certain situations. Like, for instance, life or death. Someone's attacking you. Listen, there's no really time to think. You got to react. Times of possible, if you're in war, if you're like someone that's in the military or something like that, and, it's time to react, listen, you got to react, right? There's really no too much time to think. You got to think quick on your feet. But there are situations where it's not necessary to just jump through and just, jump out there and say, you know what, I'm doing this and I'm not thinking too much about it. There's times where you have to fall back and really use your crown chakra. You need to really consider the decision that you're making before moving forward, because it can harm you. Because if you're dealing with someone, for example, let's say you decide to make an action towards someone, right? Being that fire signs are masculine, they just go for it, right? You could be running into someone who has strategically planned certain things out and was already prepared for that particular situation, even in a better position than you were. They thought about it before you even ran into the situation or the issue, right? So they're already ahead of you. They already see the ins and outs of it while you're trying to figure it out. Being that you're trying to figure it out and they already got the end result and know, and because they've analyzed it and they've thought about it and they saw every step, whether for instance, if this happens, I'm going to do this, and this. Or if that happens, I'm going to do that, and this. Right? And they already, boom, it's like chess. Right? Thinking 5, 6, 7 steps ahead. The more steps ahead you think, the better position you'll be in. So I would say that to your fire signs just to start out. Right? Let's get into this. Spirit moved me to say that to you, fire signs. Okay? Okay, here we go. Now, the 7th and the highest chakra, also known as Sahasrara. Okay, it's spelled Sahasrara. Right? I may not have pronounced it right. Sahasrara. Sahasrara. Okay, is located at the crown or top of the head. Okay, so it's in a sense even outside of yourself, but it's still connected. We got to understand that we're not just these physical bodies. People that sit there thinking that we're just these physical bodies and you're only focused on your physical body, you're making a grave mistake, because you are neglecting a part of you, yourself, by not considering that 7th chakra that's considered outside of yourself but connected in a sense, right? You're not connecting with that. You're making a grave mistake when you make decisions in your life. And if you are having situations and issues in your life to the point where you're wondering why things is not going your way, this is probably the reason why. And you know what? It is the reason why. You know, I can confidently say that. Because I'm talking from an experience standpoint. There's been times where, personally, I have not listened to my higher self. And this almost even kind of ties in with the oracle that came out for water signs, right? You know, you guys can watch all the reads for each sign, because typically each sign, you know, whether you be predominantly water in your chart, right, or predominantly fire in your chart, right, you still have aspects of all the other signs. You could be mixed. You could have water, fire, and air in your chart. So you're influenced by all three of them in some way, shape, or form. Or you could have more air, fire, and earth in your chart, right? Everybody has an or some may have all four. So, you know, by you having that understanding on how to, you know, maneuver and do things, right? Things will work out more in your favor, right? Instead of you wondering why things are not working out, because you're missing a part of yourself. Because here's the thing, we don't need no man or woman to teach us anything, right? We tend to just go different places and go through different people, right? And you know, we may favor certain people, but we should take everything into consideration. And then we digest everything, and then we dispose of what's good. We keep what's nutritional to our body. Think about it, right? When you eat certain foods, right? You eat a certain food to get a certain type of nutrition. And if you're not, you need to definitely look into that, right? You need to really make a decision on what you're considering you're putting in your mouth, in your body, because you know you got to treat your body as a temple, right? So we eat certain foods, and the foods go through our body, and it deposits nutritions in different parts of the body that we need, and then it just disposes of the rest, right? That wasn't really necessary. That's what waste comes from. So you have to have a balance of almost everything, and then take it in and then digest it and eliminate what's not good, keep what's good, right? A lot of readers say that, you know, take what's good, leave the rest, right? It makes complete sense that they say that. Take what's good, keep the rest, because everything doesn't apply. Everything is not necessary, right? But you have to be open enough to be able to receive. You can't just shut down to one aspect, to certain people, and then open up to others. You tend to be unbalanced, because people come into your life for a reason. There's a reason why you encounter people and you run across things. It's for a reason. It's because there's something that you need to take from it. Everyone. All right, let's move on. Now, the seventh high chakra, also called Sahasrara, is located at the crown, or the top of the head, in the center of enlightenment and spirituality. Also represents the inner wisdom granted from one's higher self. Once again, higher self, lower self. Your body's considered the lower self. That intuition, and yes, it does tie in with the last read. So watch water sign reads too if you have water in your chart. Okay, fire signs? Okay, because I have fire and water in my chart, and others. So, you know, it all ties in. Right? Nothing is a coincidence. You know, there's no such thing as coincidence. Everything is connected, whether we want to believe it or not, right? Everyone is connected some way, shape, or form, right? That's why when we come across things, we may hear some and we may get triggered, and it may upset us. It's because we were meant to hear that. We had to hear it for our overall growth in life and spirituality, right? For the balance of your higher self and lower self. You got to balance it out. If not, you're going to be lopsided. Like I said in the last read, it's true, right? Let's go. The center of enlightenment and spirituality, and also represents the inner wisdom granted from one's higher self. Your higher self, once again, and I can't stress that enough, as well as the knowledge of the universe, the Akashic records. right? The Akashic Records is a universal or multiverse database that actually holds all the knowledge of the universe. And when you connect with that higher self, you're able to tap in to this Akashic Records, this universal database of knowledge, right? Wisdom that every single human being can tap into if you balance out your lower with your higher self. The higher self is truly who we really are. The lower self is just an experience that we're going through in this lifetime. So don't neglect your higher self. Tap into that Akashic Records and get every single answers to your questions that you need. You don't need anyone to really teach you. People are here just to kind of guide us in the right direction, or some people are here to guide you in the wrong direction, right? Some people will guide you in the wrong direction and got you going down a rabbit hole to a point where you don't even know what's going on with your life, right? If that's happening, you need to reconsider who you're dealing with. And some people, it may be too late for them. I tend to be optimistic about things, right? And I tend to, feel like, and I could be wrong because I'm feeling. But I tend to think in a lot of cases that everyone has the ability to get themselves out of the situation. Some people may be just in too deep. You know what I mean? That's just what it is, right? Some people just may be in too deep. I just know that in some way, shape, or form, everyone has the ability to get themselves out of certain things, and some just don't, right? It all depends. It depends how far or what you actually did, right? How far you actually took it. Some people are they too far in, you know? Some people are just too far in, you know? That's just what it is, right? But for the ones that are not that far in and who may be going down the wrong direction, this is something to get you out of there and put you in a spiral of direction going up versus going down, right? Let's go. Akashic Records. This is the takeaway from here. Your higher self, okay? Your seventh chakra, your crown, which connects you to the Akashic Records, where you don't need any man and woman to teach you. We are all here to guide one another. Once again, whether you're going in a higher direction or in a lower direction. If your life's not going where you want it to be or where it should be, and you know it, you need to reconsider everything you're doing and seek some type of counsel. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just do a quick plug in. If you guys looking for some type of coaching, I offer coaching, okay? Now, let's move on. Also, the Akashic Records, the key component to take away from this today, right? Higher self. It resonates in the colors white and purple. And the gemstone, which is quartz, opal, and amethyst. So, fire signs. This is maybe something that you should possibly consider. Connecting with that higher self, getting yourself some gemstones, okay? Crystals, right? Crystals are carbon elements from the earth. We are carbon beings. So it'll help you to connect with your higher self versus dwelling and meditating on your lower self, worrying about, what I'm going to eat, what I'm going to drink, where I'm going to sleep. Listen, you are part of a greater cause. You don't think the Creator is going to make sure you're not taken care of? Come on. Then that means if you're in a mindset and worrying about what you're going to eat, sleep, and drink, that means you don't have no faith. You don't have no trust in your higher self. You don't have no trust in your Creator. Essentially, that's you. You don't have no trust and belief in yourself. Think about it. So connect with your higher self with using these stones, quartz crystals, opal, and amethyst. Okay. When it appears when this appears your card, and this card appears in your reading, okay, you're guided to retreat within yourself to awaken latent abilities. We all have abilities within ourselves. You have to tap in. Sometimes you have to get away from people, shut people out, sit to yourself, meditate. ask questions, and you will typically get you know what? There's no typically. You will get the answers if you listen hard enough. If you focus hard enough, you will get the answers. And if the answers are not sitting well with you, clearly you missed the first answer. You're not connecting with that intuition to get the correct answer, because the intuition will take you in the right direction every single time. That first answer is the right answer. Anything else, usually afterwards, it's something secondary, right? So really pay attention. Pay attention, okay? Now, also, awaken your latent abilities. Find answers to questions and to gain a higher and closer connection to the divine, okay? Your higher self is the divine. Here's what people don't realize, right? The scriptures teach that Jesus said it himself in his teachings, that doesn't this, he asked him a question. He said, is it not in your scriptures, right, your scrolls, right, that ye are gods? He asked them a question. They flipped out on him. They was ready to take him out because he asked them a question. You think about the question that, you know, the girl that recently asked the question about, you know, about so-called black men, and, you know, are black women helping to aid in the destruction? I mean, no, it wasn't that. That's not exactly what it was. Let me get on point here. Was what can so-called black women do to help, you know, or stop the fact that men are being emasculated, right? And everybody jumped in, and they were just you know, outraged at the question, right? So you think about it, she was attacked like Jesus was, because Jesus just asked a simple question, like, what can we do to fix this? Or how can we aid to fix this? Everybody lost their top, right? Same thing the Sadducees and the Pharisees did to Jesus when he asked them, doesn't it say in your scriptures that ye are gods? Right? They flipped out and lost it. So you're being triggered for a reason. It's because there's some that you need to check within yourself. You need to check yourself, or what's going to happen is you're going to keep getting checked. Simple. Right? That's just what it is. Take it. Take it. Food for thought. Right? Higher self. There you go. Boom. Right? Not lower self. Get out your feelings. Get out your flesh. Because your flesh can just lead you to destruction. Now, let's go ahead and keep going here. Now, also, so your latent abilities. So we all have some type of abilities that can serve mankind, and not only mankind, serve yourself. Right? People tend to serve others, and they're not serving themselves, and then they wonder why things are not going right, because you're following people who doesn't have your best interest at heart. Find answers to questions and gain higher and closer connection to the divine. This can be thought through meditation, okay, through activities that promotes connection to the higher consciousness, such as healing classes, right? A lot of you guys, people need to heal. You guys are not taking the time to heal. You're just going from relationship to relationship, jumping from people to people, and you guys wondering why things are not going right, because you're not giving yourself time to heal. You need to give yourself 6 months to a year away from people at times, right? Don't even get in no relationships. It doesn't make any sense if it's not going to benefit you. If you guys can't benefit one another, what's the point? Okay, let's move on. Healing classes, medical-based work, even church services. People might be on that level. You not have to go to church and get some kind of understanding. I went to church for many years, right? And I learned a lot. Also, it depends on the level you are on. Now, it's up to you how you choose to reconnect to the divine. But rest assured that you are being guided to do so for healing and self-awakening. Fire signs. This is what you need to do for healing and self-awakening. Now, if you don't want to heal, you want to run around here, try to damage and destroy people, then hey, what's going to end up happening is everything that you're doing, all your devices is going to end up falling right back onto your own head. Simple. Now, The inverted meaning of this card is this: there is a closed-mindedness, fire signs. There's, and this went on a little bit longer than I expected, but hey, so be it. I got to get this out. In the inverted, this card means crown chakra, inverted, right? So if your crown is inverted, it means there is a closed-mindedness, fire signs, okay? Or people that have fire in their chart. A lot of us have fire in our chart, so this can apply to a wide group of people, okay? This is universal. There is a closed-mindedness that has resulted from an imbalance of this chakra. Focus on clearing it out to be more open and accepting. Once again, open and accepting. You're being closed-minded if you are inverted on this chakra. This chakra is inverted, you're closed-minded. You're not seeing things in its entirety. And I'm going to tell you this. Someone that sees the full scope are going to be in a better position. They're not better than you, but they will be in a better position than you. Reason being is, the reason they're going to be in a better position than you is because they were able to think out all the steps in advance from where you are. All right? That's it for our fire signs, and peace.